Hare Krishna, everyone. For those who are online and those who will be joining later, watching this on YouTube, let us get started. We'll start with a short kirtan and then we'll get started. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Deshtarine Jai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everyone. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Sri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Mai Subhadra Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimad His डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। कलयुग पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा पायं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाभिदिव्यज छवि सुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. Um, so let's get started. Oh, I see Abhish Prabhu, you also joined. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining. So let's get started. We were discussing on Bhagavad Gita in our previous session, and before we get to this, so we were discussing on chapter 2 from the Bhagavad Gita, and one of the things that we were talking about is how what are the symptoms to identify one who is situated in the transcendental platform. However, today I was thinking that okay, maybe we'll cover a little bit of Bhagavad Gita and maybe we'll cover a little bit of Krishna's pastimes, because many of us have heard that God is great, but sometimes we need to understand how is God great, because if we understand the more about the supreme personality of Godhead, then what happens? Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. So all the problems that we are encountering in this material world. So I'll not go into much detail, but I'll just touch upon few things. We have understood that this material world is considered to be dukkhalaya ashashvatam. So I want to remind everyone. So what do we get in Granthalaya? Anyone wants to share? Granthalaya means, Granthalaya is a Sanskrit word for library. What do we get in Granthalaya? Yes, Lalmohan Prabhu, you can unmute and share.
Yeah, we get books from the Granthralayā.
Yeah, we get books, right? And what do we get? Thank you, Avish Prabhu. We get books from Granthalaya. What do we get in Aushadhalaya?
Medicine.
We get medicine.
Medicine.
And no need to say what do we get in Shauchalaya. Okay,
Clean
so
ourselves.
right, and then what do we get in Dukhalaya? We get dukh,
Sorrow.
we get sorrow, we get miseries. So Krishna is putting a stop sign right before we are entering this material world, that we are entering a world of miseries. Okay, anyone, no matter what their position is subject to constant anxiety, frustration, and miseries. And these miseries are categorized. Krishna categorizes. See, now many people will say, "Oh, I have this misery, that misery, this, that, that, so many other things." But Krishna categorizes these miseries into three types. What are those? Adhyatmic, Adhibhautik, and Adhidaivik. Adhyatmic means problems due to body and mind. Bodily problems are health related problems. Okay. Anything like, okay, we have heard like, okay, people now are subjected to, in the past two decades back, we used to hear people are subjected to problems like pneumonia, typhoid, tuberculosis, right? But nowadays we hear about new things, AIDS, okay, and then like, okay, obviously cancer, and so many other things are coming. Like short while back, we had COVID and a microorganism that we cannot see locked down the entire world. So Krishna is telling this, like, okay, Krishna is telling that this is the nature. So this is problems to the body. And what are the problems to mind? We are subject to anxieties. We are subject to stress. We are subjected to frustrations, depressions. Like, okay, we think it'll work this way, and it works up ends up working in a different way. Okay, things may not go always our way, right? So this this is the nature of this material world. So this is the first one, Adi Atmic. Next one is Adi Bhautik. Adi Bhautik means problems due to other living entities. Okay, I may be having some Adi Atmic, like okay, problems due to body and mind, or I may not have them also at this time. It's just a temporary situation of this thing. But then some other living entities are constantly harassing me. It could be like, okay, it could be my boss, it could be my someone in the family member, it could be some of my friends, or it could be like, okay, as I go to sleep, there is some dog barking and I can't get sleep. Or it could be a neighbor who turns on a very loud music and like, okay, oh, my entire thing, like now I have just come back tired from work and like, okay, I'm not able to take rest. So that is Adi Bhautik. And third is Adi Daivik. Adi Daivik means that problems due to uh, those are problems due to natural disasters like tsunami, earthquakes. Many times we hear like, okay, these are like landslides. These are natural disasters. These are out of our control. And why? And because of this, our mind, Kali Yuga, Srimad Bhagavatam says, in Kali Yuga, people are subjected to constant distress. They are short-lived, they have short lifespans, and within this short lifespan also, they are constantly subjected to these different kind of distresses. So what is the hope for the people in general? So the people in general, the hope is, and we covered this, and I'm just trying to summarize everything. The hope is when we take shelter of Krishna, at that time, Srimad Bhagavatam says that the ocean, the Kali Yuga is compared to an ocean. And think about this. In this ocean, in a very, very turbulent ocean, cyclonic winds are going on. And in that ocean, we are in a very small boat. And we cannot see the shore of the ocean to the farthest vision that we have. And there is cyclonic storm going on, and what will be, we'll be in the boat. If we are alone in the boat, there is no help, then we'll be like anytime, oh, I'll just fall down, oh, this, it's just like this. And so it is like this, like we are thinking that, okay, oh, if I just get out of this problem, then it's fine, but then the next moment you have another problem. and the next moment you have another problem. So we are dealing with one after the other. That is the nature of this material world, right? Subir Prabhu, would you agree? That's the nature,
Yes, Prabhu.
right? That's the nature of this material world. And the Bhagavatam says that one who takes shelter of Krishna, what happens? This ocean, this in this unsurmountable ocean becomes as small as the hoof print of a calf. Okay, hoof print of a calf is this small. Okay, if the ocean becomes this small and that boat is standing on that, will the boat move? What do you think, Joy Prabhu? Will that boat move or not move?
Will not move.
It will not move. Yes, it will not move. So the boat will become steady, and that's how we become steady when we take shelter of Krishna. We become fixed up when we take shelter of Krishna. Everyone, see, think about this. Everyone in this world is looking for security, right? Would you agree, Abhish Prabhu? Everyone is looking for security. And every space, like there is emotional security, right? Relationship security, right? There is financial security. And when we take shelter of Krishna, we become fully secure in our endeavors. And that is why when I started this, I said, Nashtaprayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that our greatest enemy, please hear this very carefully, our greatest enemy is not the other people. It is actually our mind. The mind which is constantly subjected to different kind of situation. The mind perceives, the mind has this habit of constantly accepting what we want and rejecting what we don't want. So it is going through constantly sankalpa and vikalpa, accepting and rejecting. Constantly this is going on. We like something, we don't like something, right? That is something that we are constantly going through. And we we like those people who are good to us, right? We don't like those people who are not good to us. So similarly, it our mind has certain preconceived notions, and that is coming through some conditioning. But when we understand that everything is being orchestrated by Krishna, then in that case, when we try to understand the philosophy that Bhagavad Gita is giving through this, and when we try to understand the pastimes of Krishna, in which way? Nashtaprayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavad seva. When we are doing nitya rupe bhagavad sevan, when we are trying to regularly hear Bhagavad, this Bhagavad means two things. Bhagavad means it means the person Bhagavad and the book Bhagavad. Okay, when we are trying to serve the person Bhagavad, the person who is following the Bhagavad, or when we are or and or when we are trying to read the book Bhagavad in guidance of the person Bhagavad, then in that case what happens? That the the impurities in our heart start getting dissolved. And along with that, like, okay, in Kali Yuga, the greatest medicine that has been given for all of us is the chanting of the holy name. That really helps us. So now we will try to understand why do we chant the holy name, okay? Because we have to understand the personality for whom the holy name we are chanting. So let us all go back, and I want to share with all of you some of my experiences also as I was visiting um, the Holy Dham. So um, so I had the opportunity to visit, like, okay, in the past 2 weeks, the Holy Dham of Shridham Mayapur, Shri Jagannath Puri, and then Shri Vrindavan Dham. And especially, I was in Shri Vrindavan Dham, I was in the Govardhan area. So, and Lalmohan Prabhu, I think you called me in between, but I was so jet lagged I couldn't talk to you. And by the time I caught up, the schedule became so tight that I could never connect back with you. So I sincerely apologize for that. So, but we'll connect soon. So in these places, especially in Sri Vrindavan Dham, the Navadvip Mayapur Dham is the Dham where Shri Krishna has manifested as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani. But let us go to Sri Vrindavan Dham, where Krishna's pastimes are eternally happening. That means these pastimes have happened. Krishna personally came here about 5,000 years back. And now also these pastimes are eternally happening. What does it mean for eternally happening? That means these pastimes are continuously happening, but only one who is favorably disposed, only one whose eyes are anointed with love for Krishna, that person is able to see this. It is called as prakat and aprakat. Prakat means manifested and aprakat means unmanifested. When Krishna was personally here, these pastimes were manifested, and everyone, all the Vrajvasis or the Vrindavan Vasis, they could see Krishna in person and they could actually experience all the pastimes that was happening. But once Krishna left, these pastimes became unmanifest to any normal person. Okay, to a conditioned soul, these pastimes are unmanifest. But when we get purified, okay, from within and from without, that means from internally and externally, when we get purified, then what happens? These pastimes are manifest in front of our eyes. So very few people are able to see these pastimes happening as they are. And it is, and this dham is supremely potent, because whatever we are saying, whatever we are thinking, Krishna is listening to it. Even the Vrindavan Dham is called as Chintamani Dham. Even the dust of Vrindavan is more precious than all the jewels, everything, all the wealth of this world and the wealth of this universe put together. That is one grain of dust of Vrindavan is that valuable. So we are utmost fortunate. And this Vrindavan Dham, where did this manifest from? So Krishna, he he was it so happened that 5,000 years ago we had this Kamsa. Kamsa, he was a very wicked ruler, and what he was doing, he was he was constantly trying to um, he was a nefarious ruler, and he was constantly harassing people. But this Kamsa was also the cousin brother of Devki. Okay, and Devki was getting married to Vasudev. So Kamsa loved Devki as his cousin sister. And then what he was doing is he was uh, there was a tradition, and this tradition is even followed till today. Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam and also in the Krishna book that when the sister gets married, the brother accompanies the sister to the in-laws place to drop his sister. So Kamsa, he he became the charioteer for Devki and Vasudev, and he was riding that chariot. And as he was riding that chariot, he he was very happy. Everyone, like, okay, there were so many. There was a nice environment. There was a lot of people who were constantly dancing. Very wonderful environment was there. And as everything was flowing through that, suddenly, out, 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 suddenly, there was a voice from the there was a Akashvani. So there was a voice um, from the heavenly planets that came that, "Oh, foolish Kamsa, whom are you taking? You, the eighth son of this Devki, will kill you, and that's it. Like, okay, now Kamsa, as soon as he heard that, although he loved his sister, but then for a demonly person, they, what they do care is nothing but their own welfare. They do not care about others. So immediately Kamsa became so perturbed by what he heard that he immediately took his sword, and he caught hold of the hair of Devki, and he was about to chop off the head of Devki. When Vasudev, he could not understand what was happening in the moment, and he understood that this this Kamsa is about to kill, and he started telling Kamsa, like, okay, he started first of all explaining Kamsa in a philosophical way that, oh Kamsa, you do, like, it's not a good thing to kill a woman, especially this is your sister, and you're most concerned about the eighth son. So right now, like, okay, we do not even have children, but nothing could actually take Kamsa off, like, okay, his mission to kill Devki. So then Vasudev eventually, and I'm just trying to make it more crisper, Vasudev makes a commitment that, okay, I make a promise that how whatever children are born to us, we'll give them to you, Kamsa, and then you decide whatever needs to be done. So what Kamsa does is, next thing is, he understands that Vasudev is a man of his word. Now this is a very important thing, like, okay. So for us who are spiritual practitioners, like, okay, we have to understand that, okay, we whatever word we give, or whatever, um, we are all considered to be leaders. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to be leaders. Okay. And as a leader, our character is very important. So how we are portraying to everyone, and how we are portraying internally within us, is very, very important. So it is, my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, would say that, see, character of a person is like what we do when we are by our own. See, when we have people around us, we can show what we are doing. But when we are alone, then in that case, what our activities are shows what our character is. Okay, so this is very, very important to know, because if we are spiritually trying to advance, but then we have taste in, let's say, we are too much absorbed in our mobile phones. Okay, we we have we have taste in, like, see, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam na janam na sundarim. If we have taste in, like, okay, how popular am I becoming, okay, or if we are trying to become popular in opposite sex, or if we are trying to acquire wealth, okay, which are all temporary, okay, because whatever we are trying to do, it may just be a matter of moments, like, okay, when this may go. And I had so many experiences, like, okay, in the past few days, hearing from devotees as to how much they have really absorbed this spiritual principle. So much to share in this regard, like, okay. So some of the things that we can reflect upon, like, okay, because as we move on to the, if you see, you are all spending some time to come to hear, what we carry away from this is most important. Attendance in a class is important, but that attendance only becomes valuable when what we take away from there. Um, if we if our mood is to be attending, but then, okay, we may be absorbed in few other things, then in that case we may not be able to get anything out of there. So think about it, like, okay, we attend a college, okay, and we were present in every class, but then we did not hear any of the classes. will we pass the exam? Will not pass the exam. Okay, so we, but where we attend where we did we attend all the classes, where we did we get 100% attendance? Yes, we scored in the attendance, but then we did not pass, we did not get graduate. What is this graduation? This graduation in Krishna consciousness is what, why Prabhupada came to give this is, that is, one does not only graduate from this miserable material world, but that person becomes blissful in Krishna consciousness. That person becomes so blissful that by seeing or by coming in contact with that person, anyone and everyone becomes Krishna conscious. That is the nature of pure devotion. And we want to aspire for pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti, Kevala Bhakti. And how, what is that? When we absorb ourselves in Krishna, all these other things which Krishna has planned for us will automatically come. We don't need to especially desire for those, because Krishna says three things. If we remember these three things, these are very, very priceless. And I keep repeating this, like I've been repeating this from past several classes. We all want to be peaceful, right? Krishna gives the peace formula, three things to remember: that Krishna is the supreme proprietor. That is, he owns everything, he owns the creation. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. That is, everything that we do is for Krishna's enjoyment. We should think about it like, okay, whatever I'm doing, will this please Krishna or will this not please Krishna? If we get into this mood that, okay, I'm doing this, I want to support, I want to, let's say, I want to get an intoxicant. Now, that is not pleasing to Krishna. Okay. Or I want to kill a living entity, then that will not please Krishna. So, so, the, so, so essentially, if we get into this mood of always thinking that Krishna, I want to just please you, and every time we are meditating on this fact, how can I please you, Krishna? Right? Our Abhish Prabhu was mentioning that, okay, he always has a very wonderful consciousness. And although he was not formally into Krishna consciousness, but he always has this nature of like, okay, of talking to Paramatma, like, okay, he calls it the universe, but that is the Paramatma, Paramatma consciousness, always like, okay, trying to talk actually. And I happened to just meet him in the airport when I was traveling. And it was a very nice interaction. See, like when someone is very eager to get something, then Krishna arranges for that. Krishna is constantly looking as how he can help. And that is why I said about two things. One is Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Krishna, everything is being done for Krishna's enjoyment. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And third is Krishna is our ever well-wisher. So no matter whatever condition we may be in, if we take shelter of Krishna, it may be, it may not be a good condition in our perspective. But if we are put into a situation and if we have taken shelter of Krishna, if we understand that, okay, there must be some Krishna's plan in this, theoretically, if we understand, and if we try to take shelter of Krishna, then through that itself, Krishna will reveal how that was best for us. So this is this is very important. Now, now I mentioned about this point of Krishna being the supreme enjoyer. So if you see, in this material world, every one of us are doing things that will give enjoyment to us, right? Some of us find enjoyment in meat eating. Some of us find enjoyment in alcoholic drinks. Some of us find enjoyment in association with women or opposite sex. And some of us find enjoyment in coming in association with sadhus or satsang. Okay. The nature of enjoyment may differ, but we are all seeking for enjoyment. It depends on the frequency or the conditioning with which we are tuned, that we find happiness in doing something. So if we are tuned to lower frequencies, that means like if we are, this is called, there are three gunas: sattva, rajo, and tamo. Okay. Sattva means mode of goodness, rajo means mode of passion, and tamo means mode of ignorance. So if we are in the mode of ignorance, then we may be a woman monger, or we may be seeking pleasure in, let's say, meat eating, okay, uh, or let's say intoxication. Rajo is like, okay, uh, i- in very passionate activities. Okay, it could be very highly driven business activity. Okay, that where we are very passionate about it. And third is sattva. Sattva is like, okay, where we are situated in the mode of passion. Now I want to say something like, okay, although I said business, does that mean that business is not a good activity? No, business is a good activity as long as it is done for the pleasure of Krishna. If we think that, okay, Krishna, I want to do this business, I want to please you by doing this, and I want to give some results, some fruits of this for your purpose, just to serve you, just to serve your devotees, then in that case, that becomes a Krishna conscious activity. Just like, okay, many times, like, okay, someone, there is this, um, many people do this, right? Like, okay, they have black money and they give some money to make it white. Okay, so it is like this. So in this way, we are spiritualizing whatever fruits we are getting in our through our endeavors. So back to Kamsa. So Kamsa was, so when Vasudev said this, Kamsa agreed. And then Vasudev, what he did is he gave one after the other children, six of his children to Kamsa. And Kamsa, very, very mercilessly, he killed all the children, six children. Now, think about the mood of Devki and Vasudev. They were bringing one after the other children into this world. It is not that they were interested in some physical relation, but they were doing this in the mood of service because they knew that the eighth child is supposed to come who will kill Kamsa, and which will be so much, which will bring welfare for the entire world. Okay, so when the seventh child was born, Krishna arranged, he called on Yogmaya, and he said, like, okay, transfer this child from the womb of Devki to the womb of Rohini. And nowadays, like, there is this concept of surrogate mothers, but the surrogate mothers concept origin was in the pastimes of Krishna. Where, so it all started from there, where this where this child was transferred to the womb of Rohini, and that is that child, because it was transferred to the womb of Rohini, he was called as Sankarshan, or whom we call more popularly as Balaram. And 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 this, he's also called as Rohini Nandan. So Balaram, he he's that same personality who appeared in the pastimes of Ram as Lakshman. And now this same Lakshman is appearing as Balaram. His and his mood is only to serve Krishna at all times. So 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 this uh, so once Balram was transferred, now at that time, like, okay, everyone thought that there was a miscarriage, and then the eighth child was born, Krishna, and this Krishna, he was born with four-handed form. He was he was having all the jewels with him. Like, okay, he had Shankha Chakra Gada Padma in his hands. And think about it. We see that, okay, babies are born, like, okay, they just born and they cry. And Krishna was born, like, okay, he was smiling. He had Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. And when Vasudeva and Devki saw him, they were like, pot up, like, what is this? Like, okay, this child, as soon as Kamsa sees, he will kill this child because they are seeing him as a small child. Okay, please, Krishna, please come to a normal child format because this as soon as because Kamsa, Narad Muni already told Kamsa that okay, this Krishna who is coming, okay, you were already killed in your past life also by him. You were Kalanemi at that time, and he only killed you. Okay, just one second. Just give me one moment. Okay, so Kamsa, he was very eager to go ahead and kill him. He was waiting, and Kamsa was constantly thinking all day and night on when this eighth child will be born. He was completely, but the thing is, he was completely meditating on Krishna only, but he was thinking of Krishna in the most unfavorable way. And he was constantly thinking that, okay, when he will be born. And as soon as Krishna was born, Devki and Vasudev, from a parent perspective, they were thinking that, okay, oh, this child, as soon as Kamsa sees, will kill. Oh, Krishna, how can we protect you? Like, okay, Kamsa will kill you anytime. Please come in a normal form. And then Krishna, on the request of Vasudev and Devki, he became a two-handed child. And then he said, like, okay, he he said that, okay, please, he told Vasudev that, Vasudev, please put me, please go, if you go to the house of Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda has just delivered a baby there. And so you just go ahead and you just drop me over there. And there is a baby that is born. You can just bring that child over here. Just give me one minute. I'm just getting one call frequently. Okay. So so then Vasudev, like, okay, as soon as he heard the order from Krishna, he just picked up Krishna. He forgot that he was in chains. He was in shackles that Kamsa has put in, but he just picked up Krishna and he just started carrying. And Srimad Bhagavatam says that, okay, Vasudev did not even wait for Krishna to complete what he said. He just picked up and started walking with Krishna. And because of his intense faith, what happened is the shackles broke, the doors opened, and the guards who were there, right, they fell asleep. And as he was walking, the water of Yamuna was, as soon as Yamuna water saw Krishna, right, the water started overflowing with love for Krishna. But as soon as Vasudev stepped in, the water split apart and there was way for Krishna to move. And because it was raining on that night, as Vasudev was walking, just behind Vasudev, Anantashesh with the thousand hoods, the serpent came and covered Vasudev so that Krishna is protected. And as Vasudev was walking through the Yamuna, Krishna somehow put his legs out to touch Yamuna waters. And that is why Yamuna is so pure. Mother Yamuna, if anyone takes bath in Yamuna, one thing becomes certain. There is in our scriptures it is said, Yamuna is the daughter of sun god, Surya Putri. Okay. And Yamuna has a brother. Anyone knows who is the brother of Yamuna? Joy Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
You know who is the brother of Yamuna?
Yamraj, Prabhu.
Yes, Yamraj is the brother of Yamuna. So one who takes bath in Yamuna, or one who wants to go and take bath in Yamuna, that person does not have to visit Yamraj anytime. That is the blessing. So this this is a very powerful blessing, because Mother Yamuna is most powerful. So we should take Yamuna Maya's darshan. We should really pray to Yamuna Maya. Yamuna Maya bestows pure devotion. Okay, and Srila Rupa Goswami has written Yamunashtakam. Very powerful. So, and when time permits, like, okay, maybe in future classes, one day we'll discuss Yamunashtakam. It is a very nectarian Ashtakam. So, anyone who takes shelter of Mother Yamuna does not have to visit the hellish planets. So, so Krishna was taken to Nand Maharaj, and then once he was delivered at the so Yashoda Maya has given birth. So what Vasudev does is he drops this boy Krishna, and he picks up, there is a baby girl. He brings he brings it back to Kamsa, and then as soon as Kamsa sees this, that there is a girl child, he tries to pick this girl up also, and he tries to kill this girl. But this girl immediately flies up into the air, and this takes a form of this Yogmaya takes a form of Mahamaya, who is more popularly known as Mother Durga, or Mother Chandi, or Mother Amba. So, and Krishna says that because she is born as the sister of Krishna, so people who are filled with materialistic desires will take shelter of this Mother Durga and worship her with all the paraphernalia to get materialistic benefits. Okay, and Mother Durga will fulfill that. But we have to also understand Mother Durga has one thing in her hand. What is that? What is the ammunition that Mother Durga has? She has Trishul. And this Trishul signifies that she will fulfill our materialistic desire, but in addition to that, she will give us a gift of Trishul. And what is that? That Trishul means she will give us this Trishul means Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Daivik. We will be gifted with these three miseries by fulfilling our desires. Because our desires are more materialistic in nature, that is why we will be troubled by these three things. So it says that Durga, Krishna has given her in charge of, Durg means prison. And we are in this material world, which is a prison house. And in this prison house, who is the main jailkeeper? That is Mother Durga. She has been given that responsibility. So one who aspires for materialistic things, Durga satisfies our materialistic things. We may ask to Ganesh ji, we may ask to any other demigods, like we may ask, but ultimately it goes to Durga. It gets sanctioned from Krishna, but since it is coming from when so it is like this. Think about it. In the company, when someone asks for salary raise, right? The supervisor approves this, then his boss approves this, then the CEO approves it. So CEO is Krishna. Okay. The the top boss, like underneath the CEO, is Durga here for the material world. Okay, and she approves it. But along with that comes the price of those three types of miseries that we have to face. And and so As soon as Durga came in her form, she told Kamsa, "Oh fool Kamsa, you are just trying to kill me, but the one who is supposed to kill you is already born and he's already growing." So Kamsa becomes very afraid, like, okay, seeing the form of Durga, and he cannot harm Durga also, like, okay, because she's in such a uh, powerful form. So Kamsa becomes very scared. And what is the next thing Kamsa does? He orders Putana to go ahead and kill all the children in the neighboring places. So think about this. This Putana is called a witch. This witch, Prabhupada uses the word khechari. Srimad Bhagavatam uses khechari are those witches that travel in those, that can fly, that can change their form, and this Putana is going ahead killing all the neighboring children who are born in the last few days actually. So, and so many children, like Putana is picking up and eating them up. And this Putana somehow reaches the same place as Nandgaon. And at that time, she gets the news that there is this boy who's born. So what she does is she takes the form of a heavenly body. And as the Vrajvasis they see her, they are thinking that this is Sakshad, goddess of fortune who has come. Because this is what demons can do, right? And they are like, okay, please come. And they show that, okay, this is the house where this boy is born. And Putana goes in and she tells Mother Yashoda that, okay, I have come to give the nectar to the newly born child. And as soon as she sees Krishna, she understands that, okay, this boy, he looks so small, but he's so powerful. And then he lifts that boy, and Yashoda Maya allows. She thinks that, okay, this is my boy will get blessing. Okay, let her give whatever blessing she has. And before that, Putna has put the poison of so many serpents into her breast. Okay, and she wants to feed that poison. And Krishna sucks her breast, and first she takes the poison and then she sucks the life out of Putana. And when her life is being sucked out, Putana starts screaming, and she comes into her normal form. And Srimad Bhagavatam says that, okay, her height is few miles tall. If I remember it right, it is like 19 miles is her height. And Krishna is a small baby. You can imagine how babies are. Okay, he did not increase his size. He was still so small, but he sucked the life out of Putna. And when she falls down, it is said that her hands were like highways. Her 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 navel was like big, like it was like a river, and a dried up river. So, and what to talk about, like our feet. So these are so huge, like 19 miles is such a thing. And Brajvasis thought that something has happened to Krishna. And when they find that Krishna is safe, then they go and pick and see that, okay, oh, this child is just here. Oh, and they don't know that Krishna is God. See, this is the beauty of it. They are thinking, oh, Lord Vishnu saved him. Oh, let's go ahead and take this little boy. And Mother Yashoda starts putting cow urine on this. They start sprinkling mantras on this. Okay, oh, Lord Vishnu saved him. let's 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 do all the purification things by which, like, he will be saved. Oh Lord Vishnu, you have been so merciful on our child. And then as this happens, like, okay, Nand Maharaj arranges for a function where to celebrate the birth. And at that time, Yashoda Maya, like, there is so many guests at home, and there are so many there are so many items that are being cooked. And Yashoda Maya is tired running with Krishna with the baby in her hand. And what she does is, Krishna is feeling so sleepy, and she puts her in one of the food cart, just just below that cart she puts him, and then she just goes to take care of the guests and okay to take care of the other things, and then Krishna is just sleeping, and then suddenly wakes up, and in and as he woke up, he goes ahead, he's just hungry, and he wants his mother, and what he does is he lifts up its leg, and he just, like how those babies, babies, as we may have seen, like their fingers are so small and tiny. And so Krishna's little feet are also very soft and tiny, so he just kicks, and it happens to hit one of the s- it happens to hit the cart, like okay, one touched the cart, and as soon as it touches the cart, it so happened that one of the demons, Shakatasur, who had taken the form of this cart and who was out there, and as soon as Krishna's feet touched it, there was a huge blast, and this demon is dead there. Krishna did not go to kill the demon, he just touched it, and the demon died. That is Krishna. So, so it is happening like this time and again, that Krishna, as soon as he is doing these activities, he does not, in Ram Lila, when Lord Ram comes, he has all these armors. He uses his bow and arrows to kill. But Krishna, he is such a small baby. Like, he does not make any endeavor to kill anyone. His only armor is his flute. Okay, but as soon as he's touching, like okay, he kills in the most softest ways. And I'll I'll end with one another pastime. So as this is the month of Damodar, in this month of Damodar, it was the day of Diwali. Now Krishna he's still s- very small, and Mother Yashoda is very much thinking that okay, this Krishna, he goes ahead and steals this butter from these different places. And let me tell you one small pastime before that. Like, okay, so Krishna, like when he's very small, right? Like, okay, once it so happens that okay, he goes in like okay to eat this butter. He's very small, infant, and as soon as he breaks a pot, he's eating the butter. Suddenly he notices that there's a mirror in front of him, but he gets so scared seeing that mirror. he thinks that okay, this is the other person who is also eating, who is also here, and he has been observed that okay, he is eating, and he while he's eating butter, he says that okay, hey, why are you here? You are eating this butter. You are not supposed to be here. And as soon as I told you, like, okay, it is not me who is eating the butter, it is you who is eating the butter. And then Yashoda Maya, she observes Krishna from a distance, and she's seeing what Krishna is doing, and she's smiling. And then Yashoda Maya says, Krishna. And as soon as Krishna notices that okay, he has been caught stealing, he says, no, no, mother, I did not do anything. I did not steal. It is he who is eating the butter. See, my hands are nothing. No, no, actually, these are not things. I just came to tell him that okay, he should not be stealing. But it is all Krishna talking on the mirror. And Yashoda Maya is so happy to see her child, okay, so Yashoda Maya sees that okay, there are a lot of, as Krishna starts growing, all the Vrajavashi starts complaining that okay, that Gopi starts complaining that okay, Krishna comes and steals butter from our place. So Yashoda Maya, what do you do? Please, please, please do something about it. Especially one of the ladies, her name is Prabhavati. She tells that okay, Krishna comes like, okay, Yashoda Maya, always your Krishna is coming and stealing butter from our place. Now these gopis, they will come and complain, but they also want Krishna to eat butter at their place. If they can't see Krishna coming and stealing butter, then they will become very sad. So, but this time this Prabhavati comes and says, this Krishna always steals butter, always, many times what he will do is, he will also, if he doesn't find butter, he will urinate there. So think about this. How many of us have passed urine while we are child? Many of us have done that, right? But who talks about that? None of us talk about that, right? Like, okay, But Krishna's passing of urine is also so famous that it is being discussed 5,000 years after that. That is Krishna. so, so, so this Prabhavati tells her, okay, you are this child, he comes and steals this one. Then Yashoda Maya looks at Krishna. Then Prabhavati tells her, okay, see, if you look at him, he will look so innocent. And Yashodame looks at him, and Krishna is like, he has such an innocent look, and he doesn't look like he has ever stolen anything. Are you sure it is my child who is doing all this? Yes, yes, it is his child. Next time I catch him, I will bring him to you. Okay, fine, do that. So this time, like, okay, this time what Prabhavati does is, as soon as he sees Krishna doing his stealing, he catches Krishna. Yes, I caught you this time. Let's go to Yashoda Maya. And and as he's going, a, he puts a cloth on Krishna's face, and then Krishna is going, uh, and then Krishna sees that Nand Maharaj is passing by. And as soon as he sees Nand Maharaj is passing by, he gets very scared. Oh, if Nand Maharaj sees me, that is his father, then he will scold me. So he becomes very scared. But because of the cloth, Nand Maharaj cannot see him. So Prabhavati pulls him by his hand and takes him to Yashoda Maya and tells, see, Yashoda, I have caught today Krishna. And see, he has been stealing. I have been telling you so many days he has been stealing. Now, what to do? So Yashoda Maya says, but can you remove that cloth from his face? Uh, so, so Prabhavati removes the cloth from his face. And you know what he sees? He sees that it is his own son. Then he tell, then Yashodami says that, okay, are you sure this Krishna? Then Prabhavati is very so much confused, like, and bewildered. Okay, oh, I just got my own son and brought him. And then she does not tell anything. She tells her, look, see, I knew that Krishna will not do anything like this. And then he brings Krishna, he brings her own son out. And as they're walking back, like, he holds his hand, and Prabhat is thinking that, okay, what happened? And then he hears one sound. Then Krishna says, see, I told you, don't catch me. I warned you, don't catch me. Now, please remember that if you catch me next time, then I will take the form of your husband when you take me to the Yashoda Maya. So Krishna is always doing this naughty activities, and because of this, Yashoda Maya is very concerned. And so we come to this last pastime, which I was going to share. This is the day of Diwali, when Yashoda Maya thinks that, okay, oh, my Krishna, he's stealing butter from all these different houses of Vrajvasis. That is because I am not able to give time to make this butter. See, all these maid servants, when they make, now let's know the position of Krishna. See, Nand Maharaj has 900,000 cows. Okay, and of this, so you can imagine like how many maid servants Nand Maharaj would have. But Yashoda Mai, being a queen, she would cook personally for Krishna. She would personally cook for Krishna. She would personally make butter for Krishna, and then like she would personally make all the arrangements for Krishna. So Yashodama is thinking that, okay, see, like, because I have not been making this butter myself. Because of this, Krishna does not find good taste in this. So let me do one thing. Let me make butter myself. So out of this 900,000 cows, she picks up the best 108 cows. These 108 cows are fed with Padma Gandha grass. This Padma Gandha grass is very special. This grass is not being fed with water, they are being fed with milk of the cows. And because of being fed with the milk of the cows, the fragrance of this grass is so high that the milk becomes intensely flavored. And out of these 108 cows, there are 8 best cows. Okay. And out of these 8, the topmost cow, Yashodame selects that, okay, I'll get the milk from this cow. And she gets that milk. So I'll make butter out of this. So she puts the milk on the stove, and then she's she's churning the butter. Like, okay, like they have this dadi manthan, like, okay, this one where they're churning. And as she's churning the butter, Yashoda Maya is singing the glories of Krishna. She's singing, 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 and she gets up very early in the morning in Brahma Muhurt around 4 o'clock. And as she's churning the butter, thinking about Krishna's, like, all the various activities, suddenly Krishna wakes up, and he comes and starts pulling Yashoda Maya, Maya, and he is very hungry or like thirsty. He wants to drink the milk from mother. So Yashoda Maya becomes very happy seeing Krishna, and what he does, he puts her on the lap, and she's feeding to Krishna milk. And as she's feeding Krishna milk, like with motherly affection, she's looking at Krishna, and she's just caressing Krishna. And as she's doing that, suddenly she remembers that the milk which was put on the stove, that milk has started boiling, and it might just fall down. So, and who was that milk put for? It was put for Krishna only. So she keeps Krishna aside, and she goes to take care of that milk, like, because that milk does not fall down. And as she runs to take care of that, and then Krishna becomes very angry that mother has I'm not fully fed, and mother has kept me aside. So he becomes very angry. So our Acharya says that, okay, when we try to be Krishna conscious, we should give priority to Krishna. If we give priority to Krishna in every aspect of our life, if we try to see how we can please Krishna at all times, then by through that, like, okay, we'll always be pleasing Krishna. We should not place Krishna as, like, okay, one of the secondary or last priorities. So as soon as as soon as Krishna, Yashodamaya returns back after taking care of the stove, she sees that Krishna is not there. And in the meantime, what Krishna does is, Krishna thinks that, okay, oh, Yashodamaya has done this. Let me try to see, like, okay, let me try to do some mischief. So he goes around and he finds the pots of butter. So he breaks those pot of butter. He eats those pot, and he starts feeding it to the monkeys. Okay, he there is a grinding mortar there, and he sits on top of that grinding mortar, and he's feeding to the monkeys. He's breaking other pots. So as soon as Yashodamaya comes, he sees that, okay, there are all those broken pots. So she understands that this is the work of Krishna only. He has only done all these things, and now Krishna needs to be punished. So he she is trying to look for where is Krishna. And in the meantime, like, okay, Krishna is feeding all these monkeys, and then Yashodamaya sees Krishna, and as soon as Krishna sees Yashodamaya, Yashodamaya has a stick in her hand. She's trying to run after Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada says that, see, this Krishna is someone whom fear personified. That means Yamraj is also very scared of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the sixth canto, Yamraj says that those who are devotees, Yamraj says to the Yamduts that those who are devotees of Krishna, please don't touch those people. Okay, that means it is not it is not in the jurisdiction of Yamduts to touch the devotees of Krishna. And uh, and this same Krishna, whom this whom all the demigods, everyone is afraid of Krishna, that same, because when that same Krishna comes in the form of Narsimadev, even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Mother Lakshmi, everyone was scared of Krishna in the form of Narsimadev. That same Krishna is now running from Yashoda Maya. And in the Damodar Ashtakam it is said, रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं करम्भुजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं सातङ्कनेत्रम् आतंक आतंकवादी means terrorized. So satanka netram, okay, that much is so much afraid that, and he's running out of it. That is the position of a devotee. when one becomes a devotee, then in that case, through the loving exchange, like Krishna would want to be scared. He's really scared of Mother Yashoda. That is the position that Krishna gives to his devotee. So, and this is the position of a pure devotee. So when we aspire to be a pure devotee, so that it is like this, that everyone is a servant of Krishna, but when one becomes a pure devotee, then Krishna becomes subservient to that personality. And so Yashodami has one such personalities. And how do we aspire for that? We cannot become Yashodamaya, but we can follow in the footsteps of Yashodamaya. We can follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. We can follow in the footsteps of the Vrajvasis of Vrindavan, like as we hear from Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that mode, we can really please Krishna. So, so through this, and as Yashodamaya goes, like okay, to to catch Krishna, then when Krishna is caught with great difficulty, Krishna is caught. Like okay, Yashodamaya catches her. She thinks that okay, I have to tie the rope to Krishna and I have to tie him down. So Yashodamaya tries to bring the rope and tie Krishna down, but she sees that the rope is 2 inches short. And what do we do? Okay, let me get another rope. But more ropes she's tying, she sees that Krishna is still 2 inches short. Okay, I'm not able to tie the rope. So she tells the gopis, and gopis bring so many other ropes. But after doing all these things, also she sees that the ropes are still 2 inches short. Now she's not able to understand why is it that 2 inches short. So it is like this: no one can bind Krishna. But then, as Krishna sees that Mother Yashoda is so much perspiring, then Krishna, with her glance, he allows himself to be tied. So it is our acharyas say that there are two things that are very important. One is our endeavor, that means our surrender to Krishna, and second is the mercy of Krishna with which we can tie Krishna. So we should make all our endeavors and surrender to Krishna, and in respect, in return, we should expect Krishna's mercy as beggars. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master, he says that okay, we we come to Vrindavan as beggars. We come to the spiritual path as beggars. We should beg for mercy. When we sit to chant, we should beg for mercy. Okay, by begging for mercy only, we can progress in Krishna consciousness. This it is it is it does not matter who comes from what background, but if one understands that okay, I'm so insignificant in this world, okay, and I want to really get purified, I want to get the real taste of this, I want to really beg for this, and through this, by begging, we can really advance in Krishna consciousness. Whether and if one is very attentive towards hearing the Harikatha, then through that, like, they are able to progress very swiftly. So Yashodamaya ties Krishna ultimately, and she says that okay, we should not. She, she thinks that okay, this way Krishna should be taught a lesson, and then she goes away. And as she goes away, Krishna sees that okay, in the previous yuga, Narad Muni had cursed the sons of Kuber, who is the treasurer of demigods, because they were very rich. They were engrossed in intoxication and enjoying with women. Narad Muni had cursed them to become trees. But the curse of a sadhu is also most beneficial. So he made them become trees in the house of Nand Maharaj that was going to happen in next yuga. So Krishna sees those two Arjuna trees standing there, and Krishna knows that his desire of his devotee Narad Muni, and he as he crawls down with the grinding mortar, the two trees fall down, and out from there the two demigods come out, Nal Kuber and Manikriv. They are very very grateful that even though they were sinful, um, they were enjoying with women, but still Narad Muni has bestowed this mercy. So Srila Prabhupada tells in Bhagavad Gita that depending on what we are doing in this life, we get our next body, if we like to expose ourselves, like many people do, right? Like, okay, in Hollywood, Bollywood movies, they like to expose their body. So as a result of that, they become trees in their next life. Many people who like to eat meat, then in that case, they are given the body of animals like tiger. People who like to eat stale food, eat meats, those kind of things, they're given the body of pigs. And what do pigs eat? Pigs eat stool. Those who sleep for long hours, they are given the body of bears. So um, depending on what we do, we are assigned this next body. And one who is intelligent thinks beyond this body of where is my destination. Okay, one who is really intelligent thinks of how can I come out of this cycle of birth and death, because birth birth means like, okay, to be exposed to the miseries. So, and one who is exposed to the miseries of this world, that person becomes alert. And one who is not exposed to the miseries of the world, hearing and seeing around, they know that okay, it's just a matter of time that they will be also exposed to miseries. Because this material world, my spiritual masters, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that there is one thing which is constant in this material world, that is change. Everything is ever changing. And so we may not be exposed to misery at this point of time, but it is just a matter of time when it comes. So with that, I know we ran over time, but I just wanted to share some of the things that I gathered. And I encourage everyone, like, okay, if you can, we should visit uh, the spiritual places, dham, especially in the association of devotees. Because if we go in the association of devotees, then in that case, we will be able to relish that dham. Otherwise, it will be like sightseeing. There are many people I have heard many times who say that, okay, oh, I went to Vrindavan. I took a taxi from Delhi and I went there and I came back same day. But then there is no benefit of that. Even if someone goes and stays there for a few days also, they will not get any benefit, because it is just like, oh, I went to Mahabaleshwar, I went to Vrindavan. it will, there's not much difference in that. But the real thing is, how much are we taking away from there? See, it is all about like how much are we carrying in our heart. uh, if we carry Krishna in our heart, then in that case, um, our life will change. And so I want to just specify one thing, so like, okay, because I was mentioning what are the things to do and what are things not to do for favorable and unfavorable things. So there are four things which there are four things that we should that we should do in order to see, like, to have a higher consciousness. See, we have to understand this. We are Jeev. A Jiva has a consciousness, but the Paramatma is the super consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita explains that Krishna and the Jiva are sitting in our heart together. And the Jiva, and whenever we desire for something, right, sometimes we'll see that our desire is met, sometimes our desire is not met. So, how this happens, right? Abhishpu, you can relate this, right? So, how does this happen? Because when the Jiva desires, at that time, Paramatma is sitting in the heart, that Paramatma is giving a sanction. Okay, you can do this one. So that way, when that is granted, then 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 the desire is met. But when the Paramatma says no, 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 you cannot do this, then then the jiva then the jiva is it is. eh, I'll just yeah, I'll just mute everyone. So when the Paramatma um, does not approve it, then what happens? That the jiva's desire is not fulfilled. Sometimes the jiva becomes frustrated also with this, right? So, but if think about it, when the jiva makes friendship with the Paramatma, the real goal is not like whether our desire is met or not. The real goal is how can we be an instrument to fulfill the desires of Krishna. See, this is a change in complete change in paradigm. What does the Paramatma, what does the Lord want out of me to be done? That is the real consciousness. How can I live every moment in the mood of pleasing Krishna? Now, then what happens? That there is a personality in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vritrasur. He prays, Aham Harer Tava Padaika Dasanu Daso Bhavitasmi Bhuya Manah Smaretasu Pater Gunamste Grinita Vakarma Karo Tukaya. What he prays is, O Lord, please make me again a servant of your servant. Okay, so that I can please you with my words, with my actions, and with my body. So, how do we? It does not happen overnight. We we have to start somewhere, and to start that journey, we should start with these four things that are to dos and four things that we should not do. What is it that we should not do? That is, we should avoid. We should not do any intoxication. We should not do any gambling, any illicit sex, or any meat eating, or any eating of any non-vegetarian. What will happen is this will place us in a good consciousness. And what are the things to do? It is an ABCD rule. A means association. We should seek the saintly association. B is we should read Srila Prabhupada books. C is we should chant the holy name. And D is we should have diet which is offered to Krishna. So daily, whatever we eat, we should offer it to Krishna. Oh Krishna, please accept this offering and please give me your remnants. If we have tulsi leaf, Krishna does not accept meat. Krishna does not accept onion garlic because these are food in the lower modes. These take away our consciousness. So just by offering this food to Krishna, what we are doing is we are establishing a relationship with Krishna. See, it is something like if someone comes to our house and we give them some food to eat, right? Some some snacks to eat, then what happens? We develop a relationship with that person, right? So similarly, while offering, we share our heart. Krishna, we can go and talk to Krishna. We say that Krishna, see, this is going on in my life. Now, I'm not very clear. How can I please you in this situation? Can you please guide me through this? And Krishna will arrange someone in our life to guide us. Please, Krishna, please send your pure devotees to guide me. I want to become a pure devotee. We can express our desire. So, just like this, we should take intense shelter of Krishna at every point of time. At every point, we'll make mistakes, but we should go and accept our mistakes. That Krishna, I am making this mistake again and again, time and again, I'm making this mistake. And what is the best way to accept this? We should keep Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee of Krishna. And when we start communicating to Srila Prabhupada, then what will happen is our message will reach Krishna very immediately. How does it happen? It is just like if a father is if someone, let's say, like, okay, uh, I'll say this: if someone approaches our father and says, can I, like, someone is passing by the road and says, sir, can I get a job? Like, okay, I'm just looking for a job. Can you just refer me somewhere? And the father will say, look, I don't even know this guy. Okay, okay, I'll check it out. But if suddenly, like, okay, if I'm walking with my father and if I say, oh, father, like this person has been very helpful to me and like he was very kind. And then the father asks, like, okay, what do you do? He says, look, okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to look for a job. Then the father will ask, like, okay, oh, what kind of work do you do? And if it is in his capacity, then will he look for the job or not? He will figure out, like, okay, oh, let me try to serve this person by trying to see if I can refer him somewhere. That is why, if we communicate with, uh, that is why, why does the father become more eager to help this person? Because he has served his son. So similarly, the son in this case is Srila Prabhupada, and the father is Krishna. Okay, because he's a pure devotee, he's very intimately connected to Krishna, and we are that stranger on the road who is looking for a job. So, so if we just directly approach Krishna, then in that case, because we have no connection with Krishna, we may not be able to get there. But when we approach the Son, which is Father, Michael Prabhu, does that answer your question? Then in that case, our our prayers will be heard. I hope that addresses your question, Michael Prabhu. So, and before ending, I think there is Michael Prabhu has put a question here. Um, shouldn't people want to come back as devotees to help others reach their next level? Is it selfish to go somewhere better? Do you want to explain the second part of your question? I'm not very clear on that. Is it selfish to want to go somewhere better? So-
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Michael Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hello, great to see you. Thank you for this wonderful lecture. What I mean is, if the goal is to not come back and to not be reborn, to want to go someplace better, then why? But if being the servant of the servant means that we should want to help others reach their next level of consciousness, and we should want to if there are too few devotees on earth when we pass on, and we need to be here to help others reach their next state of consciousness by becoming aware of Krishna consciousness and joining this movement, why should we want to be? Why shouldn't we want to come back?
Why shouldn't we want to come back, right?
Yes.
Very nice question, Michael Prabhu. So, Lord Chaitanya explains us this aspect in his prayer to Krishnashtakam. So, Lord Chaitanya says, what should be our desire? So, before I get to that, I want to tell, see, there are two things. We should help ourselves first so that we are able to transcend from this world. Now, let's look at this in this aspect. If someone is drowning, will that person be able to help anyone else? No, that person will not be able to help. But if someone who was drowning earlier is now steadily got into an island and is trying to help others, and that person will be able to help. So desire, so there are two things, like, okay, one is that someone everyone should understand that there is a world outside this. We are living in this material world, and there is a spiritual world where all these pastimes of Krishna are happening. When one goes into the spiritual world, they're constantly engaged in Krishna's service, and they're directly serving Krishna. And the highest prayer, Mahaprabhu or Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, he teaches is to pray this. न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां न वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिर् अहैतुकी त्वयि. That means na dhanam na janam na sundarim. I do not want wealth. I do not want any followers. I do not want any caregivers, caretakers. And I do not want the pleasures of opposite sex. Okay. I do not want that people call me that, okay, I'm a very intelligent Pandit, right? Who can give very nice classes, okay, and I'm being recognized for that. I do not even want liberation from this material world. Okay, then what do you want? Okay, if you don't want all of this, then what is your aspiration? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahaituke tvaye. Birth after birth, I want to serve you, my Lord. I just want to serve you. In whatever capacity you want me, I want to serve you. If it is your desire that you want me to go back, you want me to go back to the spiritual world, then I'll go there. If it is your desire that I stay back here and do some service, then I'll stay here. But whatever is your desire, I want to serve you in that capacity. I just want to be your servant, your whatever way you want me. This is the highest aspiration that Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani, teaching us. So your amazing question had sprung of this. This should be the highest aspiration. I hope that answers your question, Michael Prabhu. All right. Anyone else has any question? Or else we can stop here. Okay. I'm not hearing anything. So I hope like, okay, everyone is good. I sincerely apologize for the thank you, Michael Prabhu. It's all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's all glories to the Guru Parampara. And it is, I am very, very grateful for all of your association. And sorry it took long. Generally, we do it for 30 to 45 minutes. But I just wanted to share these pastimes because we are in the last week of Kartik month. For the entire Kartik month, I could not meet any of you. So I just thought of sharing all these various pastimes. These pastimes are very, very purifying to the heart. And when we constantly hear these, um, Srila Prabhupada says that, okay, if we constantly are hearing this and if we are constantly thinking about these pastimes, then in that case, our heart gets purified. Um, if for those of you who are not chanting yet, I would highly recommend that you chant the holy name. It is very, very simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the simple mantra. What this does is it purifies our heart. We we are from time immemorial, because of our impure heart, we are subject to various kinds of distresses in this world. And it is only a matter of time, like, okay, when we, if we sincerely take this practice of chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what it does is it constantly purifies. Srila Prabhupada says that initially we may not find this chanting very interesting. Okay, it may be a monotonous activity. It may look like, okay, oh, what am I doing? Like, it's just like this. You take this mala and like, Hare Krishna, and you will say like, oh, so many rounds left, so many mantras left to reach the end of the beat. But Srila Prabhupada gives us one hope. What he tells is that, you know, the patient, jaundice patient, the jaundice patient loses taste in his tongue. And at that time, the doctor advises the jaundice patient to take the sugarcane juice. The sugarcane juice is very sweet, very nectarian in taste. But when the jaundice patient takes the sugarcane juice, he does not find any taste. But he continues to take that. Okay. And as his jaundice goes away, he actually finds the taste of the sugarcane. He is able to taste the sugarcane juice as it is. So, similarly, if we constantly chant the holy name, then in that case, our heart will be purified. We may not externally understand anything, but internally everything is going on. And what happens is when heart gets completely purified, if we are trying to intensely chant with full attention only for one thing, as we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We just try to focus to hear these words. That's it. As the words enter through our ears and goes into our heart, the purification is happening. Even if we are not able to hear it, that's fine. We still continue to chant because it will happen in due course of time. But we at least make an endeavor to hear this. Then what will happen is we will get purified in as the time passes and will be benefited. So, okay, Michael Prabhu, I see you mentioned something else. Please explain the vibration and frequency of the words in the chanting and its resonance across the spiritual, as well as in our local computer and possibly towards others. We direct those words to when we chant in the starting in fields, but when we do it again and again consistently, we start in line. Yes. So, so in short, Michael Prabhu, like, okay, what is very important is Srila Prabhupada said, so I think in short, you want to understand what is the meaning of this mantra. The meaning of this mantra is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This has three words: Hare, Krishna, and Ram. Hare is Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Hare refers to the pleasure potency of Krishna. Okay, that is Srimati Radharani. And Ram is the Ram is the tendency of Krishna, like, okay, who is Radhika Raman. He is always in the he is always pleasing. So this means that O Krishna, O Srimati Radharani, O Krishna and O divine consort of Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. This is the very simple meaning. And 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 when we are chanting this all the time, then all we are saying is, Oh Krishna, Oh Radharani, please engage me. I want to be engaged in your service. See, think about it. We are, no matter who we are trying to please everyone around us, anyone or other person, right? We could be doing anything like, okay, in this world, but we are trying to please someone. Okay, if we are not trying to please anyone, then we are trying to please our own self. Right? So, uh, but we get greater pleasure if we try to serve someone, correct? But in this world, it so happens that, okay, sometimes we are able to please others, and sometimes, even though our interest was best interest, but we were not able to please others. But when we try to serve Krishna, we will be pleasing him if our intent is right. And that's all we have to do. We have to just aspire for that. And how can we best please him? When we are purified. See, we cannot, if Michael Prabhu comes to my home, I cannot give him food in the same plate where I have already eaten, right? I have to give him in a fresh plate. So similarly, I cannot give Krishna a stale plate. I have to give him a fresh plate, a clean plate, right? What does that clean plate mean? Clean plate means it is pure plate. I cannot give it in an impure plate. So if we are impure, we cannot be used in Krishna's service. We have to be purified to be used in Krishna's service. All we are wanting is please purify me. Our prayer is simple. Krishna, Radharani, please engage me in your service. Please purify me. Please enlighten me. And please use me in your service. That's it. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
So I hope that Michael Prabhu it answers your question. Sorry, it took very, very long time, but I think this was Michael Prabhu is, you are very, very sincere. You are asking such wonderful questions. Thank you so very much. Uh, all right. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And tomorrow, actually, I want to tell all of you. Um, so, Joy Prabhu, in India, has the Bhishma Panchak started?
Yes, Prabhuji, from tomorrow.
From tomorrow, it is starting. Okay,
Yes.
so I want to tell you all one very important thing. That is, tomorrow in US, it is Ekadashi, and tomorrow in India, it is Ekadashi. So, for those of you who are not observing Ekadashi, this Ekadashi comes twice in a month, but it is a very, very important day to observe, to become easily, to very easily become very dear to Krishna. What we do is we avoid any non-vegetarian food, we avoid onion garlic, obviously, for anything Krishna's thing. But on this Ekadashi day, we avoid eating any grains. Okay, like rice, dal, roti, chapati, bread, cookies, right? And we avoid beans. Okay, it could be French beans, soya beans, all these things, right? Okay, green peas. And what can we have? We can have ample number of options are there. We can have milk, we can have fruits, we can have fruit salads, we can have this tapoika, which is sabudana, we can have quinoa, uh, and we can make like just like we have just like we cook rice, we can similarly cook quinoa, and we can have like vegetables. Yeah, broccoli, cauliflower is perfectly fine, Michael Prabhu. That is perfectly fine. But
Yes,
just, yeah, just we have to make sure that okay, it is not cooked with vegetable oil which are with corn, because corn is a grain. You can cook with avocado oil, or you can cook with sunflower oil, or you can cook with peanut oil, or you can cook with ghee also.
mustard oil, avoid fruits.
Yeah, mustard oil also should be avoided. So these so with that, like we can have we can eat. And for those of you who are really, really aspiring to really progress very high, for those of you who may have not been able to observe this entire Kartik month, this Kartik month is the month where one gets the highest mercy. For those of you who are not able to observe this entire Kartik month, like this l- from starting tomorrow are the last 5 days of Kartik. And if one observes this day for Kartik, and I will tell you in very, very simple terms, like what we can do, this is called Bhishma Panchak. It starts from tomorrow, and I will check and let you know the day it ends. Uh, so, um, what we have to do is we can eat only boiled food, okay? Boiled food along with ghee, okay? If at all it is possible for you, you can observe it. But the results are infinite. Is so you can have boiled rice, especially the basmati rice is fine. Okay, anything that is not parboiled rice, but anything other than parboiled rice is okay. Uh, and then you can have some some moong dal is also fine, but in smaller quantity. And then along with that, you can have boiled potatoes or boiled pumpkins. Um, and then you can have fruits which are not those fruits which do not have many seeds. Those are fine. And you can have dry fruits. You can have dates during this time. You can have milk. You can have fruit salads. Okay, and these are the things that are allowed. Basically, any food that is cooked, right? Like, okay, on the with oil, you try to avoid that. Have boiled food during these 5 days, and if you are able to observe that, that is the Bhishma Panchak, and this bestows one with immense mercy of Lord Krishna, and I will send more details, like, okay, on the group also. So once again, thank you all very much. And on the last day of Bhishma Panchak, which in US calendar it is, uh, I think it is the Yeah, last day is Wednesday, 5th of November. So on that particular day, um, everyone breaks the fast by seeing the moonlight. And during that time, like, okay, whatever you are not able to have, for example, like, okay, uh, that time you can cook. You can cook the um, on uh, rajma, or you can cook with milk, yogurt. You can cook with spinach. All these things you can cook. Um, you can,
Peanut boil.
yeah. Sorry,
Peanut boil. Peanut.
peanut boil
No,
for breaking the fast.
no.
Oh, okay, for the
Sorry, sorry.
fasting. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, peanut you can have. Yeah, for the during the fasting time. Yeah, yeah. All the dry fruits you can have during this time. And so, for breaking the fast, you can have all the other items as I mentioned: spinach, yogurt, milk, different sabjis, all the different vegetables. And then you can also have urad dal, idli, dosa, all these other things you can have, and you can break the fast. And it would be, even if when we are fasting, right, it may seem like an austerity tapasya, but when we are doing this, it also purifies our body, mind, and most importantly our soul, because we are doing this for the pleasure of Krishna. um, if we are doing it just like, okay, how much I can do, and like, okay, what is my capacity, then that may not, that is fasting, but it may not yield as much results. But if we are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, then it will be very much able to, it will purify our soul. And Michael Prabhu, you are right in saying purification is to eliminate distraction from concentrating on Krishna consciousness. We will be able to concentrate on Krishna. Our mind will become pure. Our mind will become extremely focused. We will be able to hear. We'll be able to focus in whatever we are doing. That, and if you have to really understand one of such pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada is one such example, like who who started his journey to the Western world at the age of 70 with only 40 rupees, which means nothing in US. And in the last 10 years of his life, he he had no disciples, he had no supporters. He his life's journey transformed the lives of so many people, hundreds and thousands of people, and he established 108 temples during that time. uh, he not only established 100 temples, but he transformed the life, like, okay, and decades after that also people are so much experiencing his love actually. um, so whatever you said is absolutely right. Hare Krishna. Thank you all once again very much. Hare Krishna. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Hare Krishna, and my sincere prayers for all of you and for your progress in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.